Any specific reason? Don't know. Process. Okay, so we're going to see about a basics of hardware. So in this one, we are going to discuss about different PC components and how they will work and few troubleshooting related to it. Okay. So different PC components we'll see like CPU, RAM, ROM, BIOS or motherboard, hard disk, CD-RAM like that. Next one is we'll discuss about a boot processing also. How your system is booting. Next, how your system loading operating system, the step-by-step process. So we'll discuss that boot processing is also. Next, few are the troubleshooting things. Of course, while we are discussing some components and boot processing itself, we'll see certain issues, how to resolve that type of issues, and some other types also there like BSOD kind of related issues. Okay. And of course, some few are the network options, some hardware related while troubleshooting. So what are the important things are required? After hardware parts completed, then we'll go with the operating system also. What is an operating system and different types of operating system, basic things about operating system, and what is your system configurations kind of stuff. Okay, so those we will going to discuss today. Okay, the first thing is about your PC component. Guys, whether you are using a laptop or a desktop, you want to see the laptop internal to components, you can see the laptop internal components also. Okay, you can see the laptop internal components. Okay, so how it is inside. Okay. So inside of components, maybe the form factors are different, but still it is a same as our desktop also. But it is habituated to understand first is about a desktop, but same thing it will be inside your laptop. Little differences are there. Okay, so that's why I written only PC components. This picture, this box is called as a cabinet. This box we call it as a cabinet. Okay, inside of this cabinet you have different components like CPU, RAM, motherboard. Okay, ROM chip, hard disk, CD-RAM, DVDs, SMPS, like this kind of stuff is inside your cabinet, inside of your cabinet. Okay, so externally we are connecting to keyboard, mouse, printers, joysticks, LAN cables, right? So externally we are connecting to this cabinet. Instead of cabinet, so we have a CPU, RAM, processor, sorry, CPU and processor, okay? Motherboard, hard disk, SSDs are inside of this cabinet. Okay? The box we call it as a cabinet or chassis. The box, the dabba, what we are is not a CPU. Okay, it's not a CPU. This box is not a CPU. The box is called a chassis or cabinet. Some people say tower unit. Okay, tower unit is also acceptable. Okay, or system unit. No problem. But it's not a CPU. CPU is simple, a smaller chip. CPUs are small chip like this. See this is the CPU, central processing unit or a processor. This is a CPU. Okay. This is not CPU. This is called a cabinet. This is CPU. Okay. This is front side. This is back side of this chip. Okay, guys. only 7, but BNSD. We'll complete if you are interact. So we'll if you respond interact, I can easily complete these things. Otherwise, I will be there in a one place only. Okay, that's the problem with me. Okay. So what the components are inside generally CPU, central processing unit or a processor, RAM, random access memory, ROM, read-only memory. Also we call it as BIOS chip or UEFI chip or CMOS chip. Motherboard, it is a circuit board which all devices, all components like CPU, RAM, hard disk, everything is connected to your motherboard only. Why it is called as a motherboard? Because everything is connected to your motherboard only. Hard disk, SSDs, CD-ROMs, SMPS, floppy disk. So these are the different types of components, I think. So we are going to discuss about one by one about CPU, then RAM, then ROM, then motherboard, then SMPS, then CD-ROM, hard disk, SSDs. We're all going to discuss about these components today. Okay. Outside of the cabinets. It means you want to give input. That's we need a input device is a keyboard. Mouse is a pointing device. This is pointing device. Monitor to see the output. So exactly like a primary output, standard output is monitor. Standard input is keyboard. Printers and scanners based on your requirements. You have a document you want to take in the paper. Like you're converting your soft copy, which is document inside your computer, to the hard copy, which is out of your printer. That's the paper. That's a hard copy. Scanner converts hard copy. Like you have a photo or a document with you, your marks document is there. You scan it and it will be saved into your system. That is called soft copy. Touchpads. Okay. Touchpad means your laptop mouse pointing device. That's a touchpad. Okay. So next is touch screens. So we can give input to your system like your mobile phone touch screen, tablet touch screen, even laptop desktop touch screens are there to give like you can open some applications and all you can work on it. Okay. Touch mic and speakers well known, right? So when I'm speaking, the mic receives my voice signal, converts and into electrical form, then digital form, and then it will send or say. Speakers, if you are speak, so that signal will convert into the electrical signal, and from speaker I can able to hear. Card readers, so you have a SD cards, memory cards are there. You can read it like a pen drive type, like you can read data from it. You can store data. Bluetooth devices, you can connect different external Bluetooth device, like I'm using Bluetooth mouse, Bluetooth headphones. Okay, like this. External hard disk, you have a lot of data in your system, so that system data is so much. So you want to put it in separate location. You want to put this data into separate location, so then you can able to save it. Means like you download a lot of videos or movies, songs, or softwares. So you want if your system is not having that space, then you can put it in that external hard disk. Having a external hard disk also one important thing is at least 1 terabyte of hard disk. It comes around 3,000 to 4,000 in between. So you can store your unnecessary data there. Means not right now not required in your laptop. You can store there for you can also transfer to another system, another friend system. Also you can do it. Okay. Right now it is not very. Right now you are not accessing. Or you want to keep a safe copy, like 2 copies you want to maintain. You have a document, you want to save it safely in some other place. You can also save in this external hard disk. Joysticks are gaming controllers. Okay, to want to play games in a laptop, so we can use your keyboard mouse as well as gaming controllers also. Okay, What are the different components? So can we start with the processor?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The first thing is your CPU, Central Processing. It's a small chip. What CPU will do it? CPU will do arithmetic, logical unit is there in CPU. So arithmetic and logical operations will be done by your CPU. And there is a control unit will understand what type of instructions and data is there and how to process it and again how to give it back to the things. So these processors again having a built-in cache memory is there inside. So there is a cache memory, L1 cache memory, L2 cache memory, and L3 cache memory like this. Different cache level memories are there on this CPU itself. And there is a RAM. This RAM, what it will do, RAMs load instructions and data from different devices. Okay, take instructions from your keyboard, from your hard disk, from different devices like that. So it will take instructions from different input output devices. And this will be loaded into your RAM. RAM give that instructions and data your cache to your CPU. CPU process it and put it into the cache to your RAM. And RAM again give it to that IO devices like maybe it display on monitor or maybe it is save on your hard disk like that. This is the process it happen. So CPU is a central processing unit. It processes your data. It do arithmetic and logical operations. It is our brain of our computer. Without a CPU, it's not a computer itself. It's not even a computer. Different manufacturers are there in this CPU also. So out of all, there's two important manufacturers. One is Intel, another one is AMD manufacturing. Intel manufacturing and AMD. From Intel, we got a different processor, mainly Pentium processors, dual core processors. Nowadays, we are using i3, i5, i7 processor. i9 processor is also there, but it is very costly. But most of us, we are using either i3, i5 or i7. Okay, i5 is a moderated use, means not heavy high speed processing or not a very low also. It is moderated, okay. It's better performance for us. Little costlier than i3, lesser than i5, i7, okay. So i3, so any general purpose of system, computer or a laptop, i3 is preferable. Any general purpose. Okay, general speed, you get achieve normal speed as you can run different applications and i5 is so better than i3. It is little costly and as well as better performance than i3. Mainly little extra performance. Most general means professional related things. So i3 is like a basic, i5 is like a professional. i7 means the speed. It is a speed processing, okay, handling different kind of stuff is i7 is better. i9 is very costly. And there is a Xeon processor is also there. The Xeon processor used for a server purpose only. These are server related processors. Server processors, not used for desktop. This is a for server purpose on server motherboards. Next, from AMD, now current more famous is Ryzen processor. Ryzen 3, Ryzen 5, Ryzen 7. Now, Ryzen 3 itself, we have different 3, 4 models are there. Okay. So Ryzen AMD is cheaper processor compared to Intel. AMD is a cheaper processor cost is cheaper. For example, you want to buy i5 processor. Same i5 related things means that number of cores, number of support, it comes in AMD also. But cost is almost like a less than 50% of cost is affected. Okay. So it's lesser the cost, But mainly AMD is not only it is graphical oriented, means your work is multimedia related, mean video editing, photo editing, okay, graphic designing, AutoCAD, Cartia kind of stuff. It's all multimedia, means mainly graphical oriented. So you need a graphic card also for that one. So for or playing games, gaming kind of stuff. So AMD with a certain graphic card more better, means AMD itself having integrated graphics, processor itself having integrated graphics, and also you can use the relevant graphic card. So more benefit for your system for mainly multimedia. Intel is mainly for general purpose, generally like a data processing related, like you want to do programming like that. Okay. AMD also produce lot of heat. AMD is not meant for hot areas. Okay. Not hot areas. So which areas? Okay. Again, AMD that cooling system is costly. So for example, you purchase Intel processor and its cooling system is equal to AMD processor, its cooling system. Means AMD processor is lesser cost, but cooling system is costly. Okay, like that. So AMD is also one of the competitive processors produced in market. Okay. About a right, that is the Ryzen 5 processor. It is 25500, 6 core, 12 threads. It comes with a how much is 7,499. Even you cannot purchase i3 processor for this cost. It is how much cheaper cost it is. Okay, it's cooling system, means that heat sink and heat sink fan. Okay, some are having built-in Ryzen graphical memory is also there. So see this part. And again, that relevant motherboard. See, this is a now it is cost is less. MSI, so this relevant motherboard it is. Okay. This is the motherboard. So if you can able to see the central one, that's a central square box type. This is where actually processor is going to sit on this motherboard. Once you put a processor and you have to put your heat sink on it, then you have to completely lock. This is the other side of back side of your motherboard. That's what I'm trying to say is yes, it has this SSD port. Unless I build my own computer. This is giving lesser gas. Okay. Trans like that it is. Oh, suddenly price lesser. 16 GB RAM. 16 GB RAM. Single RAM. Normally 16 GB means 6,000. That is 2,000. So what happened to this? Volt stack or what? This is cooling system. These are the RAMs. Okay. But not only Intel and AMD guys, there is so many other manufacturers also there via Motorola, MediaTek, Qualcomm, Snapdragon. So different companies are manufacturing processor. But mainly these are now mainly manufacturing for mobile related processors. Okay. Motorola is the first company which is manufacturing mobile related processors, mobile phone related processors. Even Cisco routers and switches uses Motorola related processors. Okay. Via is also there earlier. Now maybe it is not lesser in the market. You know already Qualcomm Snapdragon processors, Samsung Exynos processor, Helio processors, right? So different companies, different processor. Each processor having certain capacities, different like power distributions, power consumptions, speed, graphical memory management, okay, um, faster responses kind of stuff. It's different processors are available. Yes, got it? That process.
Yes, sir.
So when you are doing this one, so the meaning is when you want to buy a processor, I want to buy a processor, right? I want to buy this processor. So what are the things I have to consider? I have to check what is its frequency. What is its frequency? Okay, speed. Higher the speed, better performance. Check the speed of the processor. Okay, and check what bit it is. Is it 32-bit processor or 64-bit processor? AMD is completely 64 only. So generally AMD don't have 32-bit processor. The AMD 32-bit also there, but very less. Okay. Yeah, you will find some details in background. See, this is how the process look like personally. This yeah, discrete graphic card required. Discrete graphic card required. That's why it is lower the cost. Why lowering cost means this processor does not have any graphical memory. You must use graphic card. You must use graphic card. Okay, that's a discrete graphic card required means there is no integrated graphics. That's why its cost is lesser. Okay. So point is it a 32-bit processor or 64-bit processor? Which processor it is? I should write. Okay. Bandwidth means architecture. Width or architecture. Width or architecture. FSB, front side bus. What is this front side bus? As a diagram I said, this is CPU and this is the RAM. RAM to CPU communication. It's RAM to CPU communication is there. So communication means what speed it is communicating. Okay. So that what we call it as a FSB, front side bus. Front side bus means CPU to RAM communication speed. Based on the FSB specification, you can select your RAM. Okay. You can select your RAM. So that is FSB, front side bus indicates to decide what RAM model you want to use it, what RAM speed it is requirement. So for me, I will give you a simple thing. Go to the task manager, click on the performance, click on CPU. See, what's my processor? Intel Core i5 10210U processor. Okay, and this is the clock speed. Before I'm going to details, so I'm going to close all these things and space is important, right? So I'm going to Intel i5 10210U. This is the my processor model. You can see Intel. Okay. So this is my processor. This is my cache memory of processor. Speed, its total speed it is showing. Base speed is this one. Turbo speed is this one. Okay. I want to show this front side bus configuration. Yes. See, I go to the processor, it is telling what type of RAM you should use it, maximum RAM capacity you can use it. So this type of RAM means this type of frequency support. 2666 frequency, 2133, 2933. So depends upon different models it will support. Okay. So you should know your front side bus. Okay, front side bus indicates, okay, maybe it is not showing as a direct front side bus, okay, sometimes, but based on that, you can understand what type of RAM model I can use it, what is the my clock speed I can use. Okay, same process. Any real processor CPU, if you see, then you will understand. Let's see. So it is Intel Core i5 11400 processor, 2.60 gigahertz. That only it is written. Sometimes they will written about a front side bus also. Okay. Next one. Check the cache memory. Go to the processor, see the cache memory also. Check its cache memory. Higher the cache memory, better performance. Higher the cache memory, better performance. Okay. So see the L3 cache memory. Next. Number of cores. Number of cores are for my processor is 4. Number of threads are 16. Check the number of cores. Even from here also you can get it. My number of cores are 4. Logical process threads. Logical processor means threads are 8. This number of cores and number of processors are increases. Means number of logical processors, number of cores or threads increases. The multitasking performance also increases. Multiple tasks you can run at a time with a better performance. Okay. And nowadays, guys, it is compulsory to check the virtualization technology support to your processor and RAM. In a very olden days, virtualization technology is not at all there. So later it is there, but it is become optional. Some processor having virtualization technology, some are not. But nowadays, we are working on the system with a different kind of stuff, including, I think yesterday I shown my virtual machines, right? Windows 10 and Linux virtual machines have shown. All are 64-bit virtual machines are. Meaning is my system, so in my system, I want to run this virtual machines. So then, how my system support, how my hardware has to be support now. If virtualization technology is enabled, if in processor virtualization technology must be there and it should be enabled. Then only you can able to create and run virtual machines inside. The new technology virtualization, then Docker technology means containerization is also came. To do all this are virtualization based only, either virtual machines or a containerization. Virtualization or containerization for supporting purpose, compulsory in your CPU, virtualization technologies there are. Check it in your processor and find out is virtualization technologies there are not. Inside this processor, it is there. Okay. Yes, these are the different processor specifications. As I said, when you are checking about a processor and check it, is it 32-bit processor or 64-bit processor? Is it a 32-bit processor or a 64-bit processor? It's not showing here, but somewhere it will show in your processor details itself, the bit. See, instruction set are 64-bit processor. These are the instructions built inside your processor. This is Intel Direct 64-bit processor. Yes. So it is the processor is 64-bit processor. What is this bit process? What is this bit process? So 32-bit means the bit size of the means instructions. So we are giving instruction, right? What task it has to define, what calculation you have to do. So we are giving instructions and data. The size of these instructions and data is 32-bit in the 32-bit processor. So 32-bit processor understand 32-bit size of instructions and data. That's it on. Okay. And think about like a what is about 64-bit processor, 64-bit instructions and data. So instruction size is bigger. It means more complex, more advanced instruction I can build it, bigger data frames I can put it, right? So that is 64-bit. These complex instructions, okay, these complex instructions, bigger instructions, complex data, bigger data. So they need more RAM capacity to be processed. So they need a more RAM capacity to process. Okay. So this 32-bit process won't support bigger complex applications. Okay, big complex applications, big data applications. 32-bit cannot handle. 32-bit cannot give you bigger RAM capacity utilization. Okay. So 64-bit can give. So that's why now everybody is means almost all manufacturers move to from 32-bit manufacturing to 64-bit manufacturing. Okay. So nowadays all Intel, AMD, everything is available in 64-bit processor. Okay. So because this 64-bit processor, the instruction and data size is 64-bit size. Bigger applications, bigger memory allocations also there. Bigger memory allocations also there. So that is about 32-bit and 64-bit, some point. Okay. Okay. So again, what is instruction set is 32-bit in 32-bit processor, 64-bit in a 64-bit processor. 64-bit processor support virtualization technology. Yes, nowadays virtualization technology is compulsory because you want to create any virtual machines. Okay, I have Windows 11 in my system, but I have to work on my Linux. I want to learn my Linux. I want to teach Linux. So how to do it? So I have to purchase another system. No, not required. Using some virtualization technology related application like a VMware, workstations, Oracle virtual boxes, Hyper-V. Using this, I can create a virtual machine, install a Linux operating system in it, and I can start working on it without purchasing separate system. So virtualization technology to create a virtual machines, run virtual machines, and also Docker engines, containerizations. Okay, so you want to build an application and deploy into the containers. So this container to run the containers also we need a backend virtualization support is required. So that is mainly available inside a 64-bit class. 64-bit processor support higher RAM capacities. It means you can run bigger applications, complex applications, require more RAM capacity. So this 64-bit support bigger RAM capacities also. Okay. Guys, when you are buying something, it's like a hardware or software, some application, you download an application, you download an operating system, you downloaded drivers. How you will know it is 32-bit or 64-bit? So compulsory check it on this downloaded one. So it shows 32-bit means it's a 32-bit application. In 32-bit application, it shows like this, it's a 32-bit or x86 or i386 or i586. Meaning is that that application or a software or maybe a hardware device or a driver, it is a 32-bit type. Okay. If it is a 64-bit, then it will return on it, it will write like this, it will shows like this 64-bit x86 underscore 64 or Intel 64, AMD 64, Win64, Windows 64. So this indication means that is a 64 bit. Sometimes the Linux or Windows, like you want to install a 64-bit application in a, so you are installing an application in a system. System is 32-bit system. You try to install 64-bit application. So you will know it is 64, so it is not suitable, then you don't install. So first identify what bit of this application, drivers, what you download from internet, hardware related things. It shows their architecture type is, sometimes it shows like architecture type is 32-bit or 64-bit. Okay. Compulsory, better to maintain same type of architecture. Some packages written like a no architecture. It's not a notch, it is no architecture. Meaning is the product or application or a package works on both 32-bit as well as 64. Both it will function. 32-bit works only on 32, 64 works on only 64. Notch means works on. Guys, always remember processor is a 32-bit processor, means you have to install the 32-bit operating system only. Okay, and you have a devices like your network card or a Wi-Fi adapter, audio card. Okay, you have to install the drivers. This is software only. Drivers means nothing but a piece of software. You have to install it. So 32-bit drivers only you have to install it. And you want to run application, VLC player, or maybe some other applications like MS Office. Okay, different applications you are installing and running. That is also must be 32-bit. In case you are installing 16-bit application, for example, your OS and hardware is 64-bit, sorry, 32-bit, but you want to install a 16-bit MySQL or a MS SQL application. It won't agree. So you need a supporting software called a WoW32. Windows 69, Windows 32. That package helps to make that 60-bit application to run better. Otherwise, system becomes slower. Again, come to the 64-bit processor. 64-bit processor, 64-bit operating system, 64-bit device drivers, and application also 64-bit only. If you install an application is 64-bit and hardware operating system must be supporting one is 64-bit. Okay, so to run 32-bit application on 64, we need a WoW inside. Means that application, 32-bit application, WoW 64 package has to be installed. Means Windows 32 and Windows 64. Okay. Yeah, I am telling from Windows 8 onwards, this WoW 64 is integrated service. No, separately not required to be installed. Okay. In case you install an application, if you install an application that is 64-bit application you are installing on 64 system, 64-bit system, the application will going to save in this program files. So these are all 64-bit applications only. Okay. Just keep on disconnecting. So when I install 32-bit application, the application will store in this program files x86 folder. So these are 32-bit only. If I install 64, then it is go to the program files only. Okay, understand guys? These processors are on top of processor. There is a heat sink paste on this top of processors. So there is a heat sink paste. Ah, my mind is on some. Okay. 1 second. Yeah. So guys, see the processors are getting heated. When processor running, the processor is getting heated. If it is getting overheated, it will be damaged. To prevent it from overheating, what they are doing is on processor they apply some heat sink paste. On top of it, there is a heat sink and there is a fan on it. So what happened? Processor is getting heated. The heat is transferred to the heat sink. Heat is transferred to the heat sink. The heat sink paste or thermal paste, which is give more good contact and maintaining cooling to your processor and giving contact to your heat sink. Heat sink absorbs the heat and passes the heat through that heat sink fins, the gaps. Fan rotates to give an exhaustion of heat on the fan. And so, okay. So what is the purpose of heat sink? Heat sink fan and thermal paste to keep it constant temperature in your processor. Even you take a laptop, so in a laptop also this arrangement is there. This copper plate is on your processor. The copper plate absorbs the heat and passes to the copper rod to out. Okay, the fan is running, then it is making cooling this copper rod. Okay, so like that you have to maintain the temperature. Now we'll see. In case of this heatsink fan got full of dust or heatsink got a full of dust. Okay, full of dust. Or heatsink is not sitting properly. Just for fun, you open the heatsink from your motherboard and you don't know how to connect it, but you didn't connect properly. Okay, so the CPU is getting overheated and the heat has to be um, able to concentrate. Okay, the point is here, guys. So this heat sink is not sitting properly. Heat sink paste not applied properly. Okay, and it is contains lot of dust. Heat fan is not running properly. So all these things are causing system restart itself again and again. The system is started. You power on your system is started, and after some time again it is restarted. Again it is restarted. Again restarted without throwing any error and all. Meaning is your heat sink paste means thermal paste not applied properly. Okay, heat sink is not assembled on top of this processor. A fan is not running, or maybe heat sink got a full of dust to clean the dust. Okay. So point is it that one only. So if your system is restart again and again, means possible CPU is getting overheated. Check the heat sink paste and fan dust on the heat sink and clean the dust. Okay. So reconnect heat sink properly. So this is about your PP. Okay, guys. Take a small break, guys. No one is speaking, and we'll talk to sir and whether continue.